Welcome to this video on plagiarism. My name's Andy Wicks, and in this video I'm going to explain what plagiarism is and how to avoid it. But let me start by telling you that as far as universities are concerned, plagiarism is worse than murder. If you don't like the way I've marked your coursework and you murder me, you go to prison, you do your time, you can come back and finish off your degree. But if you plagiarise, it's quite possible that you could get banned, not only from this university, but from every university in Britain. So in that respect, plagiarism is worse than murder. So what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is passing off work as if it was your original work. And there are lots of ways that you can fall foul of this. First of all, you could copy from each other, something that I know a lot of students have been used to in their earlier forms of education at school or college. But at university, don't do it. You both get your work marked to 0, you both have to do the work again. And it's no good even confessing and saying, well, I copied them. That won't work. You both get 0. You get 0 for copying, and that person gets 0 for letting you copy. So don't do it. The second and probably more common form of plagiarism is where you borrow stuff from the internet or from a book, and people think, oh, they won't find that website, copy and paste. Unfortunately, all universities have software that detects whether that sort of thing has happened. And you can fall foul of that very easily. Don't do it. And the third type of plagiarism is where you copy from yourself. So you've done a piece of coursework that contains something that is really useful for this piece of work. So you copy and paste it. After all, it's yours. You're not saying that this was done by somebody else. But it's not original. It's not something that you've contributed to this piece of work. And so it gets flagged up as plagiarism by our software. So don't do that. But how can you go about stopping us doing you for plagiarism? Well, what you can't get done for is copying stuff and then saying exactly where you got it from. So, my friend did this diagram would mean that you and your friend are now immune from being accused of plagiarism. This is a quotation from this website, and then you can't be accused of plagiarizing from that website. If you say, I did this in a previous piece of work, then, and you explain which piece of work, then that is not plagiarism. As long as you say where you got it from, that's fine. If you're taking some sort of text verbatim, then what you should do is put it in quotation marks, italicize it, and then bring the margins in a bit. So it's absolutely clear this is different to all the rest of the text surrounding it. And then underneath that, you say source, and you explain where you got it from. And in that way, you can't be accused of plagiarism. But what happens if you've copied from lots of sources? Well, you have lots of quotations, indented and italicized with its source underneath, and that is called research. That shows that you've had a look round. You've found different ways of doing things, different people's opinions on whatever. And that is fine. There's no problem quoting from lots of different things. Now, supposing you find a piece of work on the internet that is exactly what this piece of coursework is asking you to do. So you copy, paste it, put it in quotation marks, italicize it all, source underneath, and that's it. That's your coursework done. Well, you will not get done for plagiarism. You've said where you got it from, You're not trying to pass it off as your original work, but you won't get any marks for it because, hey, you haven't contributed anything. And the marking schemes only assess what you have contributed. So in that way, you can avoid being accused of plagiarism. It's far better to fail your coursework, because you can always redo it. It's far better to fail your coursework than to be accused of plagiarism.